Right, okay, welcome to this video. It's the final part of a video, well, a video collection we started doing about 2 months ago. So now we've had a chance to really finish it off. So we're going to finish off talking about Smackdown. Things I'd like to see changing it, things we like about it. So yeah, let's kick off.
Yeah, well, I think the overlying point of this is, we've spoken about Raw, spoken about Smackdown, about ECW, and how WWE are in a position that no other company in the world is in. You've got 5 hours of TV, you've got 3 shows, and if you make them all different, you've got something for everyone. You can attract all a different type of audience.
But they're not doing that.
No,
they're all catering for one audience.
And if you don't like that, or you're not in that audience, then there's not much point in watching the product.
Yeah.
Very established, as you've seen the other ones. ECW, probably the best bet as a wrestling brand.
Yeah.
Raw is your 18 to 30, 35 demographic. And Smackdown then, the only one left then is your younger fans. And that, I think, really is the main direction.
Another point is, when we were making the other 2 videos, which is about 2 months ago now, Smackdown was a lot better than what it was at the moment. I think at the moment ECW's was probably the best show.
Yeah.
By a long stretch. But Smackdown at the time was most probably the better one, because ECW just had like Shelton Benjamin brought in and things like that, and that's when it started to pick up.
Yeah. Like Smackdown back then was doing
pretty well. Yeah.
Good business.
So, but you know, it's gone downhill slightly. But yeah, that's just a point. If you're watching the 3 videos,
I think this could be the brand where you've got like people like the Boogeyman who isn't on TV anymore, Kevin Thorne who isn't on TV. These sorts of guys who can be put there. I think, you know, there's rumours now that this Batista feud is a way of putting Umaga onto SmackDown. I think that type of guy, and kind of like Jesse and Festus are a great example of a tag team that should be on SmackDown.
Yeah, gimmicks.
That sort of gimmick thing, and because you've got these guys and like they don't work on ECW sometimes. Kevin Thorne didn't really get over it. He just looked out of place in the new brand. Raw, you get these guys and they don't really work. I think SmackDown is the leftover market where these guys could work and give them a chance.
Taker works really well on SmackDown because, you know, everybody else has got a gimmick on SmackDown, so I mean his gimmick suits well. I mean, I'd love to see John Cena on there. One of the points you wanted to make was the fact that WWE shouldn't be afraid to put big superstars on there. I know Undertaker's a big guy, but I mean, I doubt that they put John Cena on there, but there should be no reason why they shouldn't, because SmackDown should be just as good a show as Raw.
Yeah, it was like 2002, 2003, WWE was in pretty decent shape, and you know, you had guys like Triple H, and you know Goldberg was a big name then, and The Rock was still around on Raw.
Papa Pump and people like that.
And you had Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, and John Cena was just coming up. On SmackDown it was well balanced with the top guys. Now Edge is a world champion and is very over, probably as big a deal as he's been his entire career. He's still not as big a deal as Triple H is, and he's not even a champion on Raw, and that's because he's on SmackDown and he's been told like SmackDown is your brand, and it just doesn't mean as much as being the top guy on Raw, and that there's no reason for that. Really, there shouldn't be. They want to balance the brands out and take them all as seriously as each other.
Yeah, another point I want to make was the fact that SmackDown seems to be very low on wrestlers at the moment.
Yeah, I think,
you know, I mean, the world title picture most of the year was between Taker, Batista, Carly and Edge. I mean, you know,
Batista and Carly really are only ever going to have a good match against someone who is very good, like Taker.
Yeah.
So putting them against each other isn't really going to draw.
I think a lot to do with, of course, is with, you know, the draft that took place last year, and hopefully if there is a draft after WrestleMania, which there are rumours of, maybe WWE will realise what the heck, you know, what they did in the last draft and sort that out. I mean, they most probably will.
They hurt SmackDown a lot, you know. Like they took Kennedy away and they took these big names and didn't put anyone back. And it's like
they did put Ric Flair.
Woo! But he's been between the two again, and and you know, I think since they've had ECW in, and you know, we've said for it, you need to give the guys like Shelton Benjamin, like Matt Hardy should be there, Chavo Guerrero, these guys have had a chance on there, and it's like there's no mid card left for Raw and SmackDown. Jeff Hardy only dropped the Intercontinental title because of the suspension, and he had that belt a very long time. MVP has had the belt a very long time because there's no one to take it off him.
No.
You think, you look back when they had OVW and they came through with Lashley, Punk, Kennedy, MVP. I think now they need that injection of your Colt Cabanas, your Matt Seidels,
your Rob Terry's.
That Canadian guy, I can't remember, I don't think he is actually Canadian, but he's playing that gimmick.
Yeah.
Was the TV champion there. Bringing these guys in is going to help them because they are, the mid-card's empty, they've got a big gaping horse.
I mean, it'd be nice to see Big Show go to SmackDown because, I mean, I think he'd suit SmackDown personally.
He's a guy you can put in the main event or in the mid-card.
And he'll work well because he's a good wrestler. Final point. Get Michael Cole and Jonathan Coachman off our screen, especially Jonathan Coachman because he just.
I prefer him to Michael Cole, but he is an awful commentator, and when he's there with Cole, just really does emphasise.
Cole's been there since the beginning, hasn't he?
Yeah, you can't get rid of Michael Cole because he's been there for so long. Yeah,
it's pretty true.
But the coach has proved he's no colour commentator.
Yeah, he's no JBL because JBL was outstanding. Yeah. I mean, I thought Taz was a good colour commentator, but then JBL was just, a really big surprise. I didn't think he'd be that good, but he was pretty hilarious to watch. He talks some sense as well. Coach is just, I don't know.
He's a nothing commentator.
Nothing commentator. Yeah. You can't hate him. You can't like him. It's just.
Like JBL would go on about why he like Brian Kendrick and Paul London. And like the coach doesn't seem to have these opinions, and it's very much just what he's being told in his ear. Yeah. That's what he's saying. But anyway, that's just it.
Yeah, so SmackDown salute your commentators, and don't be afraid though. You need to put some tiny wrestlers on it. I mean, there are tiny wrestlers on it. You got Edge and Taker, but
a lot of these gimmicks are getting lost on Raw.
Yeah,
probably better
should be
on
SmackDown. So thank you very much. Good night.
Cheers.
It's a fucking shit time on about, boys.